Hello and welcome to SatTV Newsweek. I'm Richard Hooper, and this week we're going to take a look at what is happening in the news in the amazing satellite and space sectors. Now let's start with Satellite 2023 in Washington, D.C. According to my colleague Jill, who is walking the floor, the event is fairly busy, which is probably not a big surprise. It is one of the key events of the year and a great networking opportunity in the first quarter, particularly if you have targets to meet. One company that headed over for the event was Gilat Satellite Networks. I caught up with Dorit Oren, Senior Director, Solutions and Marketing and Corporate Communications, to ask her how the company is adapting to change in the market with the influx of multi-orbit constellations.
Gilat Satellite Networks is heavily involved in this new transformation, and we're calling it the new elastic space era. And we're really addressing this market in 4 different dimensions that revolve around elasticity. The first dimension is the multi-orbit constellations and very high throughput satellites. So in addition to GEO, it's also LEO and MEO together with the very high throughput satellites. And this will increase the capacity to tens of terabits per second that are expected to be coming over the next years. Now, this is a fantastic increase in orders of magnitude of capacity in space, which of course reduces the cost and opens opportunities for new applications. So this is a very dramatic change, and this is only the first dimension out of 4 that we have defined for the elastic space era. The second dimension is that the satellites are getting smarter. They're called software-defined satellites, or digital satellites, if you will. This is a huge change as well, maybe the biggest change in the industry from the space segment point of view. We're not talking about a bent pipe anymore. We're talking about satellites that know how to adjust to changing conditions. So you no longer need a design to peak usage, and this is a huge advantage. And I'll talk about it probably later as we talk about what is required from the ground segment in response. But when we talk about this new era of satellite communication, it's all about the software-defined satellites, the multi-orbit and very high throughput satellites. And the third dimension is a cloud-based ecosystem. And this is extremely important as well. We're looking here at virtual systems to improve efficiency. The systems are mostly software now and less hardware-centric. The idea here is to use the resource only as needed. And this is really all about the demand-based scalability, which is very important in this new era. The fourth dimension needed for elasticity is the access key. And here, too, it is extremely important to be able to address the dynamic changes in the network. We're talking here again about elasticity and an efficient use of the satellite resource. And I'd like to maybe give an example. You have some applications that are very high throughput and data intensive, like cellular backhaul or mission critical enterprise applications. And on the other hand, you have low throughput applications such as IoT. So you need to be able to dynamically adapt to change between them, and not only between the different vertical markets, but also within an application as requirements change, and of course also to adapt to the physical weather conditions. So an elastic access scheme is a must in this new era, in this new elastic space era. So to summarize, really involved, and we continue to develop and enhance on these 4 dimensions, even though we've of course already offered to the market our flagship products guide for.
But is there any exciting news to come out of the event after day one? As usual, there was the frenzied activity by press departments to send out contract announcements and words of wisdom from key executives on the ground. But what really caught my eye amongst all the noise was a useful update from Amazon. Now, Project Kuiper customer terminals are powered by an Amazon-designed baseband chip, developed under the codename Prometheus. Now, Prometheus combines the processing power of a 5G modem chip found in a modern smartphone. the capability of a cellular base station to handle traffic from thousands of customers at once, and the ability of a microwave backhaul antenna to support powerful point-to-point connections. And it packs all of this into a single custom chip. In addition to being in Project Kuiper's customer terminals, Prometheus is also used in the company's satellites and ground gateway antennas, allowing the system to process up to 1 terabit per second of traffic on board each satellite. But let's look at the terminals. Project Kuiper's standard customer terminal measures less than 11 inches square and 1 inch thick. It weighs less than 5 pounds without its mounting bracket. Despite this modest footprint, the device will be one of the most powerfully commercial available customer terminals of its size, delivering speeds of up to 400 megabits per second. Amazon actually expects to produce these terminals for less than $400 each. But there is also an ultra-compact design to help connect even more customers. A 7-inch square design will be the smallest and most affordable customer terminal, weighing just 1 pound and offering speeds of up to 100 megabits per second. Its portability and affordability will create opportunities to serve even more customers around the world. This design will connect residential customers who need even lower cost models, as well as government and enterprise customers pursuing applications like ground mobility and Internet of Things. And finally, for those of you who care about space debris and with lives on Earth more dependent than ever on satellites traversing busy and congested orbits, Kayhan Space has unveiled the newest release of its flagship Pathfinder space traffic management platform to help operators autonomously coordinate to avoid collisions and optimize safe space operations. Pathfinder is a software as a service platform providing end-to-end operational services for conjunction risk assessment, optimized maneuver planning, and seamless operator coordination and maneuver verification in a single unified system. This latest release of Pathfinder 2 adds a novel decision-making framework developed by Kayhan Space, built around the concept of a coordinated optimal avoidance maneuvers, where 2 satellite operators using the platform can coordinate their own preferences for rule-based decision criteria, even before conjunction events arise. The result is a transparent and autonomous space traffic coordination architecture that boasts space safety and saves time and resources for all parties involved. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this week's quick review. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow the news.